learning?
Yeah, I mean it's night and day. Just in terms of the communication piece, the amount of mental areas you get per practice are way down comparatively to a year ago. I think everybody just understanding that situational football is also higher. So now they're, instead of focusing in on their assignment solely, it's they're reacting off of what the offense is doing, and they're able to get clues about down the distance formations they're seeing, and not just being dialed into their prospective responsibilities. So I think that's what kind of comes with year two in a scheme.
So I guess in the second year with most of those guys, what are you emphasizing then, maybe the most?
Yeah, so I'm just emphasizing communication, pre-snap, and understanding the situation. Not just executing the call, but executing the call within the framework of where you're out on the field, what's the down and distance, and what is the offense telling you pre-snap.
Coach, what are you looking to accomplish in the spring game? Is it an opportunity to lay down some film to review?
Yeah, anytime you're getting live action reps, those are the best evaluators. It's hard to fabricate experience, and sometimes experience is our best teachers. So anytime that we can provide those live reps, live moments, and create as much pressure as we can on them, and in a spring game with crowd there and TV crews there, just to try to simulate what it's going to be like in the fall. Those are your best evaluators as a staff, and the ways to get your younger guys some experience. And for the older guys, I'm just trying to stay healthy.
How deep of a dive do you go into the playbook in a game like that? Are we going to see blitzes and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, more so. You get more into the playbook now than you did a year ago, because the game is up. Everybody knows what we're doing defensively. It's not too much change from a year ago. Obviously there's some wrinkles here and there. We won't get too exotic on third downs. We're just trying to play good, sound, fundamental football. I'm not trying to confuse or trick Coach Lunny. You're just out there playing good fundamental football.
And how often do your safeties kind of and Aaron's corners kind of meet together or go over stuff together? Because it seems like you guys all have to have a connectivity back there.
Yeah, they meet on their own a lot. I know, especially during the season, every Thursday they would get together and watch tape. But in the off season, I'll get into my safety room, and practice will have already been pulled up and watched. So guys are in there all the time, and they do a great job of communicating on the field as well.
How have the safeties come? It seems like you got some guys back there to sort out how this looks. What have your impressions been of their progression over the spring?
Yeah, I'm liking where they're at. Especially that first group, just the way they communicate, the way they practice. They go full speed, and it's when your best guys are going full speed, everybody else has to follow suit. And then we've seen progress from that second unit. Those younger guys, trying to emulate what those starters are doing right now. And they've improved, from practice to practice. So I'm happy with where they're at right now.
Do we have to wait till Thursday to know who that first group is, or when you?
No, I mean, you got Sydney, Kendall, and Quan. When we're playing with three safeties, those guys have been out there with the ones the majority of the spring.
What has Kendall given you since the decision to come back?
He's done what he was doing at the end of the year last year. When we decided to move him to safety, just kind of taking over that role that specifically that Kirby was in. He also adds value covering in the slot. He's got corner background, but he's a big physical guy that's got some coverage ability. So I'm happy as heck he decided to stay.
Someone like Quan, who can play a couple positions at a pretty high level, what does he do for you guys, versatility-wise?
Yeah, I mean, he's another guy he can play in the post, he can play in the slot, he's physical in the run game. I can't speak enough about what he adds to what we're able to do defensively, and sometimes, at times he can get overshadowed because he's covering the slot a lot. But when your slot receiver's not catching the ball a ton, you don't show up on the stat sheet so much, but that provides a huge relief for us as a defense and me as a play caller for sure.
Are there some areas of emphasis in this spring game where you want to see some improvement?
More so from that second unit, just the communication. I want to see how they respond to adverse situations, and how they act in front of a crowd, and when you are keeping score and live action is happening.
when you have to replace outside backers like OC and Isaiah, like I'm curious how you feel about how these practices have gone for those guys and what you're seeing out of that group.
Yeah, I think Coach Kane's done a great job with that group. You know, we had Seth and Zeke last year who got some good playing time. Obviously, you know, OC and Isaiah were two stalwarts for us, but you know those guys had gotten some meaningful snaps and did well while they were in there. So that continued to carry over in the spring, and you know they've been consistent, and they've added depth with Alec Bryant and Shamon Cooper, you know, staying there more full time. And then we were seeing really good things from Jared Beatty before the injury there, and we've got some more guys coming in the fall that I think will provide some depth there as well. So not as experienced as we were a year ago, but I think we'll have more depth for sure.
Following up on Shamon, it seems like he's been yo-yoed between inside and outside backers. Do you feel like he's found a home now where he is?
Yeah, I think he naturally makes more plays where he's at right now. You know, you've seen growth now that he's sort of embraced it. And you know, we'll see how it shakes out in the fall, but I've been impressed with what I've seen this spring.
Asked about Kirby, is looking like he's mocking a little higher and higher each day. What's it like to see him go through this and kind of make this rise?
I mean, that's why you get into this profession. You know, this is like my way to give back. You know what I mean? And it's just fun when you see some sweat equity poured into a young man like Kirby and how he embraced it, how he thrived off of the opportunity, and the way he went to work every day, and the way he respected the game with his style of play. To get rewarded the way he has is gratifying, to say the least. You know, I think some of the biggest correlations between life and football is whatever you pour into football, you're going to get out of it. It's the same with life. Like if you pour into your academics, you're going to get good grades. If you pour into a relationship, it's going to be a positive, you know, relationship moving forward. And I think football is fair that way. You know, it might not turn out the end result like everybody wants it to. Like it doesn't always look like a NFL contract, you know, but you will get rewarded, and Kirby definitely is getting rewarded right now.
Coaches are back out on the recruiting trail. What kind of reception you get out there on the road?
Well, I haven't been out yet.
You haven't been out yet?
Yeah, so I go out next week, but I know our guys went out as a staff yesterday, and just trying to take care of in-state first, and I know from all accounts, you know, people have been very receptive and appreciative of that.